I'd like to share with you a little project that I've been working on, making a magnetic chessboard to hang on the wall. I was at a resale store recently and I saw a picture that had sort of a chess pattern frame around it. It was actually a print of a horse, which I wasn't so interested in the print, but I was fascinated by the frame. Looking at it, they had it listed at $29, but on the back there was a price tag for the original picture in the frame for $200. So I didn't buy it initially, but I went home and I thought about it, and I really liked the picture frame, and I'd been wanting to get a chess board to hang on the wall with magnetic pieces. I had seen some advertised previously for sale, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make my own. So I went back to the store. The picture frame was still there, so I bought the picture frame, took it home, took the print out of the back, and ordered some parts to make my own chessboard. So the first thing I needed were the strips of wood, and I wanted it to be a big chessboard. The inside of the frame was 24 by 28 inches. So I calculated for the 24 inches I could use 3-inch squares. So I bought 3-inch strips of wood that have a glue backing on them. I bought these through Edge Supply. There was a lighter wood and a darker wood, and the lighter wood was $10 for the 10-foot roll, and the darker wood was $20 for the 10-foot roll. So for $30 I got my 2 rolls, $29 for the picture frame. And these wood strips I then used Old English plain lemon oil for the light ones and Old English dark scratch cover for the darker ones. And I covered the wood with the Old English polish, which made the darker wood even more dark, and it gave a nice finish to it in contrast to the lighter wood. Then I took these strips and cut them into 3-inch squares. So I had enough for the 64 squares total, 32 squares for each colored wood. And then I had a little bit left over, which I planned to use on each side of the chessboard to make a strip of each of the light wood and the dark wood to put the captured pieces onto. The most expensive part was the piece of sheet metal that goes behind the wood. This I purchased at a metal store for $40. I had it custom cut to 28 by 24 inches exactly, so it would fit in the picture frame. And so this was the most expensive piece of all the parts I needed. I laid out the wood strips on the board to see how they looked, and it came out very nicely in a good dark wood, light wood pattern, with the one dark strip on the left side and a light colored strip on the right side of the board. The interesting thing about these wood strips is that they are sticky backed with a glue that is heat sensitive, so you iron them on. And so I was able to iron them onto the piece of metal, and they stuck pretty well. My original thought was to have the chessboard in the frame without any glass in front of it, so the pieces would sit directly on the wood. But the wood did curl a little bit at the edges. Not all of them, but a few of them wouldn't just lay flat. So I ended up using the glass that came with the picture frame and putting the wood board behind that. So the next problem was that the magnets that I had originally purchased were small, and they weren't very obvious behind the chess pieces, but they didn't stick well to the metal that was covered with wood and with glass. So I ended up taking the magnets back to Michael's and getting a larger size magnet, which worked great. So after returning the smaller magnets and buying the bigger magnets, I ended up spending about $10 for the magnets. I had some foam sticky back pad that I used on the bottom of other chess pieces, and so in this case I cut out circles to stick onto the magnets so the portion of the magnet that it touches the glass won't scratch. So there's a little foam pad on the back of each magnet where it would attach to the glass. These magnets I attached to the chess pieces using a hot glue gun. So every chess piece had a magnet glued onto it. Now these magnets were a little bit bigger than what I had originally intended, so they were not as well hidden by the base of the chess pieces, but even so they don't really show up too badly even though the magnets are larger. And they do work really well as far as sticking to the board through the glass and the wood. So once the magnets were glued on the pieces and the chessboard put into the frame, I tested them out and they stuck very, very well, but were easy to move around. I also used a circle disc magnet that I put white foam on one side and black foam on the other side. So that way I can flip it to show whose move it is. That way I can take a move on the board and then indicate whose the next move is and walk away. And later when I come back, I can look at the board and know exactly whose move it is because of the colored disc. I set this up in front of my bar, which is a chess themed piece. It has a port decanter that looks like a queen and the glasses are rooks, and then I have two knights, one of which is a French whiskey decanter, and then I also have two decanters that look like bishops, one for cognac and one for whiskey. And so with my chess pieces on the picture above the liquor cabinet makes a really nice display, and I can go up there and play a game anytime I'm walking by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and please watch my other chess videos.